I'm so sorry about the noise in the background. My brother is fixing his car in some type of ways. But today, good morning everybody. My name is Jellisa Hall. I'm back and ready to record. I want to say thank you guys for all the support. My channel is growing, and without you guys, I would never have this. And before God, I always say thank you, Lord, for giving everything I do before you. And Lord will encourage my channel and encourage today's word. Today's topic is about public school because this topic is a very relatable topic. My family, we come from teaching. I currently do not teach in a public school, but I do teach in a preschool, but I have volunteered in a preschool. My mother has worked in the public school for the last 15 to 16 years. She just retired, so she is moving on to bigger and better things, but this topic we should never not want to talk about. It's very important because the precious gifts from God are their children, our youth, the next generation, and we have to be very positive in this topic and also very encouraging, and we have to be very involved because the different points that I have, I'm going to just paraphrase. I'm just going to talk about it from my experience and my point of view. So with that said, I know the big thing is about funding. Funding is because you want to have a awesome building, because most public schools have been there for many years and years. They may add on a new gym point, a new section of the school that has funding, maybe a science lab that they really desperately need. But I feel like for any teacher, any students, any parents, you want their kids to have the best of the best, because some school districts don't have that funding. So we have to be really involved, maybe sit in our school rallies, to go to parent-teacher meetings, to go to the Board of Ed and sit in and say, hey, why does my school in this district, I'm going to say maybe the Apple district, does not have it versus the Peach district. So we just have to get involved and say and advocate for your children, you know. And also parents, some kids don't have that where the parents are active, and also the teachers, we have to have the parent and the community to come together and embrace. And also for teachers, you want to be able to make sure your school is up to date with everything. So that's why I said sending out flyers, emails, social media, getting involved, getting your kids involved, especially the seniors. When you make the next class, have that. But sometimes we don't have that, so we just have to get involved, because money is important for the children to thrive. Because, you know, for instance, for me, I grew up, thank God, when I got to my freshman year in high school, I was a brand new building, so we got brand new textbooks. But my middle school, it was like they bounced us around because they were remodeling our school. Thank the Lord, but I didn't get a chance to enjoy that new school. But I did have a very rundown school. The windows were just not the best, but thank God I had a classroom with a window. Most of them didn't have it. We have scribbled on textbook, graffiti, you had to sign it out. You know, that was really back in the day, the early 2000s. So I'm 26 for those people who probably wonder, like, you look like a baby. But anyway, so that's just my experience. Social media. Social media is defined the website and application that enables users to create and share or to participate in social networking. So this is the day and age that we have children on Snapchat, Instagram, everything else. Because I'm not a social person, but I do have an Instagram, I do have a Facebook, I do have YouTube. Those are the only things I use right now. And my other sisters, well, especially the 18-year-old and this 15-year-old will probably update me more, but this is more for parents and teachers and children, that you guys know you guys are on your phone. This is I need my phone. You cannot live without your phone. So in the public schools, you know, because they're just bullying kids in this area, you know, and also this is a great tool for learning. So it's a positive and negative in this point in this. So teachers use this for the kids' advantage, because you have to meet the children where they're at. Hey, this is a social media world, so the parents, teachers are emailing parents for those who are really involved, and people are doing PowerPoints, people are just doing projectors, people are just doing different things on Google. Everything is there, and I love that it's a technology where you can always find everything. You can add videos if you need to help grab your children's attention. But also, I want to go to the peer pressure point of it, because children are just very mean. but we also have to have a balance in it and love. But some kids are not taught this. Some kids are unable to just process that. I can't teach that, but you can model the behavior as a teacher. You gotta beat the children where they're at. Doesn't matter if they're 16 and pissing, because it happens at home, and these kids are just all over it. We're going to say this, every generation is different, but kids are just taking pictures. Kids are cyberbullying. Kids can go through suicide, bullying towards it. You snap one thing and people share it, people like it. It's just all around. Once that one child is just exposed, that's a big word. I'm like, what's the word exposed? My sister said that's a bad thing. When people expose her, the truth comes out. These kids are they're like lions' dens. It's just throwing them to the wolves type of thing. I said, I'm so glad I graduated 2012, y'all. But it wasn't, when I was in high school, it was hard. Everybody, you've been through the walk through public school. If you've been through public school, it doesn't matter if you've been through a charter school, been through a private school, you've been through life, you've been to college, through life, you're going to experience these things. If you haven't, God bless you, because it's not a good feeling to be bullied. I have been bullied. Good thing I have not faced being exposed, or I kept to myself, because I said to myself, if I've been claimed to do something, at least I was truthful in it. But I was very timid in high school because people are just so mean. But with the grace of my family, having kids, a big family of 6, helped me through that. But that's a time and another story. So we're going to keep on going. So we talked about funding, we talked about social media, we talked about peer pressure. And also the parents, make time to talk about school, because if you don't talk about school, about your children, the kids will laugh in, because your child every parent should know, or they kind of know, but I don't want to pressure her because she's going through a lot. And also, this is a working time, because mom and dad or grandma, whoever's taking care of that child in their environment, we don't know he or she is getting food. We don't know. Parents need to get involved. Hey, Becca, how's your day? You have to have a routine, because your child is standoffish, your child is withdrawn. That's a sign, say that she's changing. You probably think, she's going through her hormones, she's going through adolescence, she's going through teenage stuff. No, your child is an outcry, because if you have to have this relationship, you can't always be your child's friend, but you have to be that parent to get involved. You go to parent-teaching conference, to get logged onto their website where they have their homework that's posted, newsletter. You have to get involved. And I love this one. My friend said, do not let the public school raise your children, because you are the advocate for your child. Some kids do not have that voice to parents. Sometimes the kids are raising themselves, Some kids are called latchkey kids, where parents go work different shifts, and the kids have that key, and they have to go. It doesn't matter if they're from primary school, middle school, until high school. But at a certain age of elementary school, they're not allowed off the bus. But some kids, when they have older siblings, this is their dynamic. So what I'm saying is, parents, please get involved with your children. If it's just a newsletter, a note to the teacher, email. That's why I said technology is very important, because teachers love that. Because for myself as a teacher, that is brilliant. But some people don't have the resources. So that's the balance of this. The parents are involved, some parents are not. That's just how some public schools are, and you got to understand the dynamics of the environment and be respectful. But just as long as you put that piece of paper in the child's book bag, folder, because some parents, even though you probably don't think they're there, they're involved, but sometimes their kids are just raising themselves. So as this word, before I end it, be encouraged, you guys. Be encouraged, because this time and age, you have to be very diligent in the public school, because the teachers are not great. I'm going to say it just like that. Some teachers are not great. Some skills level, like I've been here, I'm just for a paycheck. That should not be any teacher's model. You're here, we're secretaries. We have many hats. We're social workers. We're extra parents during the day. We are feeding the children. We're clothing the children, because some of these kids, and giving them toiletries, because these kids don't have it, like I said, because some parents are absent, because some kids will come to school smelling not the best, but we cannot have a bias. We cannot have a bias, so let's be encouraged to understand that you will have that awesome teacher, Miss Amy. You will have that teacher, Mr. Robin. You will always remember that, because I remember in my public schools day, it's like teachers are so good, and then also you will have that one Mr. Richard that just was not good. But we all, as an adult now, probably what was wrong with him, what was going on with his life, because some kids will tell it like it is, you know. That's my cat, Pisces. So also, number one, because I'm a Christian, and we want to be inclusive with everybody's beliefs and race. But I really believe in my heart that when you take prayer out of school, I feel like in my heart and my belief, things don't go well. I feel like everybody should be able to believe what they believe. I really believe that prayer should be inclusive, because I remember I brought my Bible to school. My teacher said, you cannot put this out because it's offending everybody. And me being the smart person I am, I asked everybody, are you offended by me having my Bible? Hebrew Muslims and Catholics says, no, you're not bothering, because my mom said to me to pray if I need prayer. So if you need to pray for your school, do not be afraid to pray. And really respect everybody around you, because everybody not believe the way you believe. But I do believe when you take prayer out of school, it's not everything. It's not a balance, because God for me is my Lord and Savior. God is the King of Kings, Lord of Lords, and God will balance everything out. So whatever you believe in, love God to just work in your life, and because I want to be respectful of everybody, but I know what I believe in. God is my Lord and Savior, and we got to keep prayers in the school system. So talked about that. I wrote different notes, and sometimes we just got to just roll with that. And I think everything I wrote, because one thing about schools, you want to be inclusive in everything. So I wrote that finding a right balance, because children's self-esteem is important. Because if you're not being happy, you're not getting the work, if you're not, your mindset is way off, you're not going to be productive. You know, sometimes in public school, we want to just have all these quotas. Any school, you have to have a grade point average. But one thing about public schools, I really can say that they're really, really good with getting involved. Most schools. But they have a lot of pressure on grading every school GPA, blah, 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 blah. But one thing is, a whole, we have to make sure our children are well taken care of, because you have different classes. Doesn't matter if you're poor, middle class, and rich, whatever those quotas go on. But children's self-esteem are important, because these kids are just all around you guys. You know, children will it's just the self-esteem of making new friends, the awkwardness, people not talking to you, the overwhelming, welcoming different groups. You can have the band, you have the dancers, you have the yearbook, and everybody has their little groups. So we just gotta make sure everybody's well balanced, and people are gonna go through self-esteem. Kids are gonna go through death in the family. So we just gotta make sure we are just checking in on our children. You know, I know the public school, they have a great support system of guidance counselors. You can go to your favorite teacher if you need the extra help. You know, have a good listening ear if you're a teacher listening to that, or you're being a volunteer. You just gotta check in on our children, because if they're being withdrawn, doesn't matter if they're the most popular children. You gotta check in on our children, because our self-esteem. Also, the big thing, I'm about to end this, looking good. Dressing, you gotta make sure you have the Tommy Hilfiger. You gotta make sure you have the Adidas. Everything is things that different styles. I'm being 26 as a teacher. I don't really care what I look, as long as it's on a discount. I'm off the rack. I'm okay with it, because I work with preschoolers. But my sisters, the 18-year-old who's next year, and also the 16-year-old, everything is the label this, label that. I've been there, done that. Or are you just the type of person, as long as you look good, you're okay? But these kids are just, you don't have the latest things, you don't have to show. It's like a runway. You got to make sure our kids are, or you're instilling your child that it's not all about looks, but you don't put people down if they don't have the latest things. But people are vindictive. Kids are vindictive. Kids are ruthless. Kids will deny each other, and one day you may have it, but the next day you're not. They're like, okay, you got the latest thing, but why are you wearing it too much? My mom's able to afford this, but it's just refunding that thought. But everybody wants to be a saving grace, or people want to be, but everybody ain't making it like that. So you got to make sure you are well taken care of. You're just checking in, and people don't have it like that. So don't put people down. Okay, because you can go all day with this topic, the public school. Kids are just being kids. Kids are just being kids. So we just gotta check in. Do not let the public school raise your children. Get involved with your children. Social media is a big thing. You can use it to teach, but also kids are on it 24/7. It's their lifeline. Check in on that. Set boundaries. Have fundraising for your children, for your school to have funding. Pray for your schools. I'm going to continue to pray for public schools, because this time of age, children are getting bullied, kids are having suicide. So just having 1-800 numbers and just checking in as teachers, we're mandated reporters. We have different hats. So it's turning to 16 minutes. You guys have a blessed day, because I have to get ready. I'm probably going to take an Uber this morning, because I knew this video was going to take some time. I recorded it before. I was like, no. I have to get a little deeper. And also, everybody have a beautiful, blessed day, and God be the glory. And with that said, have a beautiful day and happy Wednesday. We're just 2 days into Friday. Woohoo! It's okay. Love is all around, you guys. See you later. That's my portion of public school, my point of view, and I think I did a very, very good job. See, I'm wearing my mother's charter school shirt. See, we're very educated people in our house. I'm not trying to brag, but it's just, I have a lifeline of teachers in my family, and I thought I was never going to be a teacher, and look at it, so I really hope when I have my children, he or she will go down their own path, because we have so many teachers in our family. And with that said, bye-bye.